Silence enters the room before confidence does. The most magnetic person rarely announces their presence. They do not try to prove anything, yet attention slowly moves toward them, eyes follow them, conversations shift around them, and the surprising part is this: it has very little to do with perfect looks, expensive clothes, or a flawless body. For years, society has repeated the same message about attraction: look better, dress better, impress people. But real attraction does not work that way. The truth hides in small behaviors that most people overlook: subtle habits, quiet signals, the kind of signals the human brain reads instantly without thinking, signals of calmness, signals of control, signals of inner strength. These signals shape how people feel around someone long before a single word is spoken. Attraction is less about appearance and far more about energy, behavior, and presence. Across history, the people who drew attention in every room were rarely the loudest or the most flashy. Many of them were calm, focused, grounded. Their presence felt stable, and that stability created a strange effect. People trusted them faster, people listened more closely, people respected them without being told to. Psychology quietly supports this idea. Studies on human perception show that the brain constantly scans for cues that signal confidence and emotional control, not consciously, automatically, within seconds. Before logic even enters the picture, the mind already forms an impression about someone's value and attractiveness. The surprising part is that these signals do not come from genetics alone. They come from habits, daily behaviors that repeat so often they become part of a person's identity. This is where the real shift begins. Attraction is not a fixed trait. It is not a lucky gift given to a few people at birth. It is a pattern of behavior that anyone can develop over time. The way someone reacts to pressure, the way someone speaks, the way someone listens, the way someone carries themselves when nobody is watching. All of these habits quietly shape how others perceive them. And the fascinating part is that most people are unaware of these patterns. They chase surface improvements while ignoring the deeper signals that actually create attraction. The world spends billions on fashion, appearance, and cosmetic upgrades, yet the strongest form of attractiveness often comes from traits that cannot be purchased: emotional stability, self-respect, calm confidence, the ability to remain grounded when others panic. These traits do not scream for attention, they attract it naturally. Look closely at individuals who seem effortlessly magnetic. Their behavior follows a different rhythm. They do not rush to impress. They do not chase approval. Their reactions are measured. Their words are deliberate. Their energy feels controlled rather than chaotic. That quiet control sends a powerful message to the human mind. It signals maturity. It signals reliability. It signals strength. These signals create comfort around them, and comfort naturally draws people closer. This is why some individuals walk into a room and instantly change the atmosphere without saying much at all. Their habits reveal a level of internal order that many people subconsciously admire. The deeper reality is that attraction often grows from discipline, from small choices repeated every day. The choice to remain calm instead of reacting emotionally. The choice to listen instead of constantly speaking. The choice to invest time in personal growth rather than chasing validation. These habits reshape a person's presence over time. Slowly, almost invisibly, they build a kind of natural authority. And authority is attractive, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that earns it. Yet here is the interesting twist. Many of these habits are rarely discussed openly. Social media tends to highlight quick tricks and surface strategies. Stand like this, dress like that, use certain words, but those tactics only create temporary impressions. True attraction is built deeper. It grows from behavior patterns that influence how people feel around someone over long periods of time. When a person consistently shows emotional balance, independence, clarity, and growth, the brain interprets these signals as value. Value creates respect, and respect quietly transforms into attraction. That is exactly what this video explores. Not surface tricks, not manipulative tactics, but the deeper behavioral habits that naturally make someone more appealing in any environment. Habits that shape the way people see you, trust you, and respond to you. Some of these habits are surprisingly simple, yet extremely powerful when practiced consistently. Others challenge common beliefs about what actually creates attractiveness, and one of them might completely change the way you approach personal growth and relationships. Each habit in this video reveals a different layer of human psychology. One shows how emotional control creates a sense of strength that people instinctively respect. Another reveals why the ability to listen carefully can make someone far more memorable than the loudest voice in the room. Another habit uncovers the hidden power of independence and why people are drawn toward individuals who do not constantly seek approval. And as these habits begin to connect together, a bigger picture starts to form. Attraction becomes less about chasing attention and more about building a presence that quietly commands it. By the end of this video, a new perspective will start to take shape. The idea that attractiveness is not something someone desperately tries to gain from others. Instead, it is something that naturally grows from who a person becomes. When behavior reflects confidence, discipline, and self-respect, attraction begins to appear almost automatically, not forced, not exaggerated, just present. This is why watching until the end matters. Each habit builds on the previous one, and the final insight brings them together into a powerful realization about human behavior and personal presence. Many people overlook this final piece, yet it often determines whether someone appears ordinary or truly magnetic. Once understood, it changes the way a person moves through conversations, relationships, and everyday interactions. So in this video, 6 habits will be revealed that quietly transform the way people perceive you. 6 habits that influence confidence, presence, and respect without relying on external tricks. Some are simple shifts in mindset. Others are daily behaviors that reshape how the world responds to you over time. Together they create a foundation for genuine attractiveness that lasts far longer than surface impressions. Welcome to the channel, where the focus is not on temporary motivation, but on deeper personal mastery and mental strength. If this kind of insight interests you and you want more content that helps you develop confidence, discipline, and clarity in life, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join a growing community focused on becoming stronger from the inside out. Attraction rarely follows logic. The human mind likes to believe it makes clear and rational decisions, yet when it comes to attraction, most of the process happens quietly beneath awareness. Within seconds of seeing someone, the brain begins collecting information. It observes posture, tone of voice, emotional reactions, and subtle patterns of behavior. These signals are processed faster than conscious thought. Long before a person decides what they think about someone, their brain has already formed an impression. This is why attraction often feels mysterious. It appears sudden, almost automatic, because the brain is not asking for permission. It is simply scanning for signs that indicate stability, confidence, and strength. The mind has evolved to detect these traits quickly because they signal reliability and safety. A person who appears calm under pressure, steady in their actions, and respectful toward themselves sends a message without needing to explain anything. That message is interpreted as value. Value attracts attention naturally. This silent scanning process explains why certain individuals stand out the moment they enter a room. They may not be the most physically striking person there. Their clothing may be simple. Their style may even be understated. Yet something about their presence shifts the atmosphere. People begin to notice them without understanding why. Conversations pause slightly when they speak. Others pay attention when they move. It is not effort that creates this reaction. In fact, the most magnetic individuals rarely appear to be trying at all. What draws attention is the consistency of their signals. Their behavior reflects control. Their expressions remain steady. Their movements are calm rather than rushed. These small cues accumulate quickly inside the observer's mind. The brain quietly labels the person as someone who possesses internal order. That internal order is perceived as strength, and strength naturally attracts respect and interest. Many people misunderstand this process and focus only on appearance. They assume attraction must be built through external improvements, better fashion, a more impressive image, a louder personality. Yet these strategies often fail to create genuine magnetism. Surface changes can capture brief attention, but they do not create lasting impact. The deeper signals come from behavior patterns that reveal who someone truly is beneath the surface. Confidence, emotional balance, and self-respect cannot be faked for long. They appear through habits that repeat consistently across different situations: the way a person reacts when something goes wrong, the way they speak when challenged, the way they carry themselves when no one is trying to impress them. These moments expose the real signals the brain is searching for. One of the strongest of these signals is emotional stability. Human beings constantly evaluate whether others appear stable or unpredictable. Someone who reacts dramatically to small problems often creates discomfort around them. Their energy becomes difficult to read. Others begin to feel cautious because emotional unpredictability suggests instability. On the other hand, a person who remains calm when situations become tense creates the opposite reaction. Their presence lowers tension rather than increasing it. People feel more relaxed around them. This calm response sends a quiet but powerful message. It tells everyone nearby that this person is capable of controlling themselves. Self-control is one of the most attractive traits any individual can possess. Emotional control does not mean the absence of feeling. It means the ability to experience emotions without allowing them to dominate behavior. Many people react immediately when something upsets them. Their frustration appears instantly in their voice and body language. Anger rises quickly. Complaints follow without pause. Pressure creates panic rather than focus. These reactions may feel natural, but they signal a lack of internal balance. When observers witness these patterns repeatedly, the brain begins to associate that person with instability. Attraction fades because instability creates uncertainty. Individuals who practice emotional control behave differently. When tension appears, they pause. That pause may last only a few seconds, yet it changes everything. Instead of reacting automatically, they allow space between the emotion and the response. During that space, they think. They observe the situation more carefully. They choose their words rather than letting emotion choose for them. This behavior creates a powerful impression. Others begin to see them as composed and grounded. Calm responses under pressure suggest inner strength. The brain reads this as reliability. The effect becomes even stronger over time. When people consistently witness someone maintaining composure during difficult moments, they begin to trust that person more deeply. Trust grows into respect, and respect often evolves into attraction. The calm individual becomes someone others want near them during stressful situations. Their presence feels stabilizing. It provides a sense of balance in environments where emotions often run high. Calmness also changes the rhythm of communication. Someone who reacts quickly often interrupts conversations with emotional bursts. Their tone rises, their words accelerate, the interaction becomes chaotic. In contrast, someone who controls their emotions speaks with measured pace. Their voice remains steady. Their sentences are thoughtful rather than impulsive. This slower rhythm draws attention because it contrasts with the typical pace of emotional reactions. Listeners naturally focus more closely on what is being said. The calm speaker appears confident simply because they do not rush to prove anything. Confidence built on emotional control is quiet but powerful. It does not rely on dominance or loud expression. Instead, it reveals itself through patience, through the ability to remain steady when others lose balance, through the discipline to respond rather than react. These traits create an environment where people feel comfortable sharing ideas and expressing themselves. Comfort leads to connection, and connection strengthens attraction. Another habit that quietly increases attractiveness is the ability to listen deeply. In many social environments, conversations become competitions for attention. Individuals rush to speak about themselves. They interrupt others to add their opinions. They search for moments to shift the focus back toward their own stories. While this behavior may appear confident on the surface, it often creates the opposite effect. Constant talking signals insecurity. It suggests that the speaker needs validation or approval from others. The conversation becomes centered around their need to be noticed rather than genuine interaction. True listeners stand out immediately because they behave differently. They allow others to finish speaking without interruption. Their attention remains focused rather than drifting toward the next response they plan to deliver. They observe subtle details in tone and expression. These observations allow them to ask thoughtful questions that deepen the conversation. Instead of dominating the interaction, they guide it quietly through curiosity. Listening communicates respect. When someone feels truly heard, They experience a sense of importance. Their thoughts feel valued. This emotional response strengthens connection instantly. People remember those who made them feel understood. They associate those individuals with comfort and positive interaction. Over time, the listener becomes someone others naturally seek out for conversation. Listening also reflects confidence. A secure individual does not feel pressure to fill every silence. They are comfortable allowing space within the conversation. This patience signals emotional balance. The brain interprets it as evidence that the person trusts themselves enough not to prove their worth constantly. That quiet assurance becomes attractive because it contrasts with the urgency many people display when trying to impress others. The interesting result of this habit is that the listener often becomes the most memorable person in the room. Even though they speak less, their presence leaves a stronger impression. Others recall the way they paid attention, the way they asked meaningful questions, the way they remained engaged without turning the conversation into a performance. These experiences create a sense of connection that lasts longer than loud storytelling or constant self-promotion. Comfort with solitude forms another powerful signal of attractiveness. Many individuals struggle with being alone because they associate solitude with loneliness or rejection. They constantly seek interaction, approval, or reassurance from others. This need for validation creates pressure within relationships. When someone relies heavily on external attention to feel secure, their energy becomes dependent on the responses of others. That dependency can feel overwhelming for those around them. People who are comfortable being alone display a different kind of strength. They enjoy their own company. They spend time pursuing personal interests, learning new skills, or simply reflecting without distraction. Their sense of identity does not rely entirely on social approval. Because of this independence, their interactions with others feel lighter. They do not demand constant reassurance. They appreciate connection without depending on it. Independence creates space within relationships. It allows interactions to grow naturally rather than feeling forced. When someone knows they are capable of enjoying life on their own, their presence becomes more relaxed. Conversations flow without the underlying tension of needing validation. Others sense this freedom and feel more comfortable around them. This habit also introduces an element of mystery. Individuals who maintain their own routines, passions, and goals appear more intriguing because their lives contain depth beyond social interaction. They have experiences and perspectives shaped by personal exploration. This depth enriches conversations and creates curiosity about their interests and ambitions. Self-sufficiency communicates stability. The brain recognizes that someone who can maintain happiness independently is less likely to create emotional chaos within relationships. Stability, again, becomes the signal the mind interprets as value. Attraction grows when people feel they are engaging with someone who brings balance rather than dependence. These habits do not require dramatic personality changes. They develop through consistent awareness and practice. Emotional control grows through deliberate pauses during tense moments. Listening improves when attention shifts away from self-promotion toward genuine curiosity. Comfort with solitude expands when individuals invest time in personal growth and independent experiences. Each habit strengthens the signals the brain instinctively searches for when evaluating attraction. As these behaviors become part of everyday life, the overall presence of a person begins to change. Their interactions feel calmer, their communication feels more thoughtful, their independence feels refreshing rather than distant. The combination of these qualities creates an atmosphere where others naturally feel drawn to them. Attraction emerges quietly from the consistency of these signals, shaping the way people respond long before appearance or status becomes relevant. Self-respect often appears in the quietest details of daily life. It is not loud, and it does not try to prove anything, yet people notice it quickly because it shows through consistent care for oneself. Attraction is rarely about perfect features or flawless appearance. Perfection is not required, and it is not even realistic. What draws attention is the signal that someone values their own life enough to take care of it. When a person invests time in their health, their energy, their environment, and their appearance, they communicate something deeper than style or fitness. They communicate discipline and awareness. This message reaches others without words. It tells them that the person standing in front of them respects their own well-being, and when someone respects themselves, others tend to respect them as well. That quiet respect becomes one of the most powerful foundations of attraction. The way a person treats their body is often the first sign of this habit. Health influences energy, posture, focus, and mood. A person who regularly sleeps well, eats with awareness, and stays physically active carries themselves differently. Their movements feel balanced rather than heavy. Their eyes look alert instead of exhausted. Their presence feels alive rather than drained. None of these qualities require extreme effort or dramatic routines. They come from small decisions repeated consistently, choosing movement instead of long inactivity, choosing nourishing food instead of constant neglect, choosing rest instead of endless fatigue. These actions build energy, and energy changes the atmosphere around a person. Energy has a subtle influence on attraction. When someone appears energetic and engaged with life, people naturally feel more interested in interacting with them. Conversations become easier. Laughter feels more genuine. The interaction carries momentum. In contrast, someone who constantly appears tired or careless about their well-being may unintentionally create distance. Others sense the lack of vitality and respond with less enthusiasm. The difference is rarely about appearance alone. It is about the signal that energy sends. Energy suggests that a person is actively participating in life rather than drifting through it. Appearance also plays a role, though not in the way many people assume. Attraction is not about expensive clothing or extreme attention to style. Instead, it often reflects basic care and neatness. Clean clothes, simple grooming, and a sense of order create a subtle message. That message is not about impressing others. It is about showing respect for oneself and for the environment one enters. When someone takes the time to maintain their appearance in a simple but consistent way, it tells others that they approach life with intention. That intention becomes attractive because it reflects awareness. The environment someone creates around themselves reveals another layer of self-respect. Living and working spaces often mirror the habits of the person who occupies them. A clean, organized environment suggests clarity of mind. It shows that the individual values order and stability. This does not require perfection or constant control. It simply requires a willingness to maintain balance. When personal spaces feel cared for, the people who enter those spaces sense it immediately. The atmosphere feels calm and welcoming, rather than chaotic. This impression influences how others perceive the person who created that environment. Self-care is not performed for applause. It is practiced privately, often when no one is watching. That is what makes it powerful, because it comes from internal motivation rather than external approval. When someone invests in their health, energy, appearance, and environment without seeking validation, the behavior feels authentic. Authenticity builds trust, and trust strengthens attraction because people prefer to engage with individuals who feel genuine. This habit gradually shapes the way a person carries themselves in social situations. Their posture reflects balance, their tone reflects calmness, their energy feels steady rather than scattered. All of these signals combine into a quiet presence that others notice. It becomes clear that the person values their life enough to care for it properly. That realization creates respect, and respect naturally leads to attraction. Communication forms another powerful habit that influences how attractive someone appears. The way a person speaks reveals much about their confidence and clarity. Many individuals rush their words during conversation. They speak quickly, filling every silence with additional explanations. Their sentences become crowded with unnecessary details because they fear being misunderstood or ignored. This behavior often signals uncertainty rather than confidence. The listener senses hesitation beneath the words. Clear communication works differently. Someone who speaks with clarity allows their thoughts to move at a steady pace. Their sentences remain simple and direct. They express ideas without rushing to defend them or decorate them with excessive explanation. This calm approach creates a strong impression because it suggests certainty. When someone sounds certain about their thoughts, others instinctively pay closer attention. The rhythm of speech influences how messages are received. A calm speaker uses pauses naturally. These pauses give listeners time to absorb what has been said. They also create space that emphasizes key points. Silence becomes part of the communication rather than something to avoid. When words arrive slowly and clearly, they carry more weight. Directness also contributes to clarity. Speaking directly does not mean being harsh or aggressive. It simply means expressing thoughts honestly, without unnecessary confusion. When someone communicates with straightforward language, the listener understands them easily. This simplicity builds trust because it shows that the speaker respects the listener's time and attention. Another important part of clear communication is tone. A steady tone signals emotional control and confidence. When someone's voice remains balanced, even during disagreement or discussion, it shows that they are not easily shaken by pressure. This steadiness reassures others. It suggests maturity and reliability. People often respond positively to those who speak with calm certainty because it makes interaction comfortable. There is no need to interpret hidden meanings or navigate emotional turbulence. The message arrives clearly, and the conversation moves forward smoothly. This experience leaves a strong impression because it feels rare in environments where communication often becomes rushed or reactive. Clarity also reflects self-understanding. To express thoughts clearly, a person must first understand them internally. This requires reflection and awareness. Individuals who practice this habit spend time organizing their ideas before sharing them. Their words therefore carry coherence. Each statement connects logically with the next. The listener senses this structure and begins to trust the speaker's perspective more deeply. Confidence often becomes audible before it becomes visible. A voice that moves calmly and clearly suggests that the speaker believes in what they are saying. This belief does not require loudness or force. It simply requires steadiness. When others hear that steadiness, they interpret it as strength. This perception matters because people naturally gravitate toward individuals who appear certain about their direction in life. Certainty does not mean arrogance. It means having enough clarity to stand by one's thoughts without constant doubt. When someone communicates in this way, their presence feels grounded. Conversations with them feel meaningful rather than scattered. Growth represents another habit that shapes attraction over time. Individuals who focus on growth rarely appear stagnant. They carry a sense of forward movement that influences their energy and perspective. Growth does not require dramatic achievements. It simply involves continuous learning and improvement. People who read regularly expand their understanding of the world. They encounter new ideas, new philosophies, and new ways of interpreting experiences. This knowledge enriches their conversations and broadens their perspective. Others find this engaging because it introduces fresh insights rather than repetitive opinions. Learning can take many forms beyond reading. It may involve practicing new skills, exploring creative interests, or studying subjects that spark curiosity. Each effort contributes to personal development. Over time, these experiences shape a person's character and confidence. Skill improvement also plays a role. When someone dedicates time to developing abilities, they gain competence. Competence brings satisfaction because progress becomes visible. That satisfaction often translates into enthusiasm during conversations. Enthusiasm attracts attention because it signals passion. Challenges are another essential element of growth. Individuals who willingly face challenges demonstrate resilience. They understand that discomfort often leads to improvement. This mindset encourages them to step outside familiar routines. The willingness to grow through difficulty becomes inspiring to those around them. Growth generates a kind of energy that others can feel. It is the energy of movement and possibility. When someone is actively learning and improving, their conversations reflect curiosity and ambition. Their outlook feels optimistic rather than stagnant. People naturally feel drawn to this energy because it suggests progress and opportunity. The combination of learning, skill development, and challenge creates a dynamic personality. Such individuals rarely remain fixed in one perspective. They evolve with time, gaining new experiences that shape their understanding of life. This evolution keeps their presence interesting because they continue to change and expand. Individuals focused on growth also tend to encourage improvement in others. Their mindset influences the people around them. Conversations shift toward ideas, goals, and possibilities rather than complaints or limitations. This influence creates an environment where others feel motivated to develop themselves as well. Growth therefore becomes attractive not only because of personal progress, but also because of the atmosphere it creates. Being around someone who is constantly moving forward can inspire similar movement in others. This shared momentum strengthens relationships and builds mutual respect. When self-care, clear communication, and continuous growth combine, they begin to shape a deeper realization about attractiveness. Attraction is not a single trait or skill. It is the result of many habits working together over time. Each habit influences how a person thinks, behaves, and interacts with others. Daily behavior becomes the foundation of perception. Small actions repeated every day gradually form a pattern. That pattern shapes character. Character then influences how people respond to someone's presence. A person who respects their health, communicates clearly, and continues to grow demonstrates consistency. Consistency builds reliability. Reliability creates trust, and trust strengthens attraction. This process unfolds slowly but steadily. It does not rely on quick tricks or temporary adjustments. Instead, it reflects genuine personal development. As habits improve, the overall presence of the individual changes. Their energy becomes balanced. Their words become purposeful. Their actions reflect discipline. People around them notice these changes, even if they cannot explain them directly. They simply sense that the person feels grounded and intentional. This perception alters how interactions unfold. Conversations feel smoother. Respect appears naturally. Attraction grows as a natural response to the signals being displayed. At this stage, a deeper question begins to emerge. Instead of asking how to become attractive in a superficial sense, attention shifts toward identity. The focus moves toward the kind of person one is becoming through daily choices. Character develops through repeated habits. Every decision contributes to the direction of personal growth. The way someone treats their health shapes their energy. The way they communicate shapes their relationships. The way they pursue growth shapes their future. These patterns accumulate gradually until they define the individual's presence. Attraction then becomes a reflection of character rather than a performance designed to gain approval. Character influences every environment a person enters. It affects the tone of conversations, the strength of relationships, and the opportunities that appear over time. Because character is built through habits, those habits become the true foundation of attraction. Each day offers small opportunities to reinforce these behaviors, choosing discipline over neglect, choosing clarity over confusion, choosing progress over stagnation. These decisions seem minor in the moment, but accumulate into powerful changes over months and years. When someone begins focusing on these habits consistently, their presence transforms quietly. Their confidence grows naturally because it is supported by real actions. Their interactions become smoother because their communication is clear. Their energy remains strong because they care for their well-being. Attraction emerges from this alignment between values and behavior. It becomes a natural response to the signals of self-respect, certainty, and progress that others observe. As these patterns continue to strengthen, the question about attractiveness gradually changes form. The focus shifts away from appearance and toward identity. The real inquiry becomes centered on the kind of person someone is becoming through their daily actions. Because attraction is not built in mirrors. It is built through the character shaped by habits repeated again and again over time. Real attraction does not come from trying to impress everyone around you. It comes from becoming someone who naturally earns respect without asking for it. When a person builds emotional control, listens carefully, values their own time, takes care of their life, communicates with clarity, and keeps moving forward, their presence begins to change. People feel it. Conversations feel different around them. The energy they bring into a room feels calm, steady, and confident. That kind of presence cannot be faked for long, and it cannot be built overnight. It grows slowly through daily habits, through small decisions that shape character over time. The world often teaches the opposite. It pushes the idea that attraction is about appearance, trends, and quick tricks. But the truth is much deeper. The most attractive people are rarely the loudest or the most flashy. They are the ones who understand themselves. They are the ones who control their emotions when situations become difficult. They are the ones who respect their own time and energy. They are the ones who keep learning, keep improving, and keep moving forward even when no one is watching. These qualities create something powerful. They create quiet confidence, and quiet confidence is magnetic. When you focus on building these habits, attraction stops being something you chase. It becomes a natural result of who you are becoming. Your actions begin to speak before your words do. Your presence begins to communicate stability, clarity, and strength. People start to notice the difference, not because you tried to gain attention, but because your habits revealed something deeper about your character. That is the real shift. Attraction moves away from external approval and becomes rooted in self-respect. And that journey of self-mastery is exactly what this channel is about. Not quick motivation that fades in a few hours. Not surface advice that sounds good but changes nothing. This channel focuses on discipline, mindset, and the habits that quietly transform a person's life from the inside out. The goal is simple: to help you build the kind of mindset that creates confidence, strength, and clarity in every area of life. If this video changed the way you see attraction, then you are already thinking differently. And that shift in thinking is where real growth begins. So if you want more videos that break down powerful habits, mental strength, and practical ways to build a stronger mindset, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Joining this community means choosing growth over comfort and choosing discipline over excuses. And if you found value in this video, take a moment to like it. That small action helps this message reach more people who may need to hear it. There are many individuals out there who are chasing attraction in the wrong places, never realizing that the real answer lies in the habits they build every day. You can also share this video with a friend, a brother, a sister, or anyone who is trying to improve themselves and understand what truly makes a person stand out. Sometimes a single idea can change the direction of someone's mindset, and sharing knowledge like this can have a bigger impact than you think. Thank you for spending these moments here, investing time into understanding yourself and becoming stronger mentally. More insights, deeper ideas, and powerful lessons are coming in the next videos. Until then, keep improving, keep building your habits, and I will see you in the next one.